Have you ever had like a dance battle? I'm always curious.
It's cringe though.
Was it really?
Mexico was like our first ever performance. And I will never, ever forget that moment. We performed at the same stage as Osuna.
He sang at the World Cup.
Yeah.
So you basically sang
At the World Cup.
Yeah, at the World Cup.
What's up, guys, and welcome back to another episode of the Domino Table. Today we got a very special guest, someone that we met at one of these events and we instantly clicked. And actually, there's a little backstory to it.
Yeah, I was like, you know her, bro. So
Yeah,
I was like, what are you
there's
talking
a little
about?
know her, but not like formally know her.
Oh,
It's just
true,
like
true,
seen
true.
around kind
Yeah.
of thing. But yeah, so without further ado, bienvenida Wendii.
Yo.
Yo.
Hello, studio audience.
Gracias. Thank you for having me.
Of course. ¿Cómo está?
Good. I'm excited to be here. First podcast, like without my girls.
Do you miss them?
I do. Yeah, of course.
But let's get it right into it. So there's like a little backstory with like how this came to be. So we actually know each other. Like the real story is that we've known each other for years, just not like super like it was like a friend of a friend kind of thing.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And shout out to Mommy and Papi in the
True,
background.
in the audience,
I used
you
to
know
play
what I mean?
basketball with them. Yo, they ballers.
Wait,
you know
both of them?
how many big
They both
three?
play.
Yeah, we used to
Like
play. Yo,
legit? Like
well-
your mom was like crossing people?
bro,
over?
yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I swear to God, yes.
That's
Yo,
fire.
she has moves. I swear to God. Yo, it used to go down.
All right.
And they can vouch for me that I was good at a point.
No, I believe you. I've always known you were good at basketball.
For sure.
I'm like, yo, I am.
Bro, this guy randomly one time after a tailgate, we're in somebody's house and they had like a hoop, and I just hear. I'm like, damn, that's like 4 in a row. I look back and there's a line just by himself.
Bro, it was like 16 in a row.
okay.
But yeah, so bienvenido. Welcome to a podcast where we're very big on like Latino creators and all that, and we kind of just want to get to know you and share your story with everybody. And it's super chill. We're never like on like some gotcha like kind of energy.
Right.
I feel like some podcasts are like that, but we're just like more like kickback.
Fire.
But tell us a little bit about yourself.
Damn, what do you want to know?
I mean,
Everything.
tell us like first, like, who you are, where you're from.
Well, I'm Wendii.
Yeah.
Sarmiento. 22 years old. I was born in Cuba.
Nice. Oh, you were born there.
Born in Cuba.
Okay, nice. Same.
Moved to Miami with my mom when I was 3 years old and a half. Obviously, it was tough. I
Yeah.
have like a similar story to Camila Cabello,
Okay.
which I recently saw, and we like went through the same like thing.
Like story
Like
type.
past.
Yeah. So her mom and her, and my mom and my mom, my mom and my mom,
Mhm,
Yeah.
moved over here, like just us, like with literally like a bag with like 2
Yeah.
t-shirts.
Damn, kind of like you too.
Yeah.
And it was hard. We were like jumping from like house to house. She was like trying to work at the same time, and I was very
Yeah.
little. And then a year later, thankfully, like my dad was able to come as well. But the first few years, it's tough.
Yeah.
And a lot of people don't like know like when you're over there.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, you're already in like Miami. You're like good, but they don't know
How hard it is
how
to start
hard it
now.
is.
Yeah.
exactly. It's like, oh, you're over there. You're good, but you're starting from
Yeah.
scratch. Like you need to look for a
Set
job.
yourself up.
Bro.
Yeah, and it's tough when you have a baby. Honestly, I look up to her so
Yeah.
much because I don't know
Yeah.
how I would have done if I had like a little baby to like go through that shit.
I think about that all the time because I'm like, I know God did that for a reason because, like, I know if I was in that position, I don't know if I would have been able. Like,
It's tough.
I was meant to be born in this country.
Yeah.
like, I don't know if I would have made
You're
it.
like, I'm not
out,
built
dude.
for that.
I'm not built for that, bro.
It's tough. It's
Yeah.
really hard. Like a lot of people don't know everything that happens like in those countries, and having to come over here, and I'm
Yeah.
very grateful for my family
Yeah.
and everything
That hard work.
they've done for me. But yeah, moved over here, went through a lot, but even then, like struggling,
Yeah.
they still pushed for like my career. Like they still like took me to dance class, even though like probably should have saved that money.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like still like pushed me to do everything. So
Did you always know that you wanted to be like in the entertainment
oh yeah.
space?
Honestly, it's so like thing to say, but honestly, I think
Yeah.
ever since I was in her stomach,
Like you were like, I'm
I
gonna
knew.
be a star.
Yeah.
What was that first moment?
I think, I mean, I always loved music and
Mm-hmm.
like dancing and performing. And I always like, ever since I turned 5, she took me to dance classes. And then I would do like competitions and all this stuff. But then there was like a point in my life where I'm like, I feel like there's more. Like I don't want to be the backup dancer, even though I love dancing. I want to be the artist.
Like the main.
And so when I turned 11, she signed me up for La Voz Kids. The voice in Spanish.
Yeah. No.
And then she didn't tell me about it because I hadn't done like singing classes. I hadn't done anything. I just enjoyed singing for fun.
Yeah.
And so she signed me up and she told me the next day, she was like, oh, they gave you like a golden ticket for like the audition. So you don't have to make the line or anything. You just go right through. And I was like,
what?
What are you talking about?
Why didn't you tell me? Like you just.
Did they see like film or like
she uploaded a video.
Damn.
With like answered
star status from the jump.
Answered questions and then like I just went through, and at first I was kind of like mad because I was like I don't think I'm ready for that.
Right.
Like to go on this like complete new show. I haven't done singing classes. I don't know if I could do that. And she was like, "Girl, just
be
like
you.
just do it." And
just
you. And I had done the audition and I did like 3 shows and then was taken out. But it was like in that moment when I did the audition like live, I was like, all right, it's time to like, take this serious now. Damn. But I think that was the moment.
That's crazy.
They just threw you into the fire.
Right. They just literally threw you into the fire.
Go, come on.
Figure it out. No, but that's dope though.
That shows that you really have it in you to do that, to do what you're doing.
Like, what was like, I guess, so that was your first, like, I guess, taste of like the industry and
the
stuff
real
like
world.
that.
Yeah.
And then after that, like, what kind of made you like keep going? You know, now that your dreams are dead, basically. Is what they told you.
I think after that show, there was like a moment where I kind of stopped singing.
Okay.
And I just went back into dance classes and I was just like training and stuff till she did the same thing and then put me in another show in La Banda.
Okay.
That's when I was 14 to 15.
Yeah. Like all of these, like I
remember
my mom watching
agent,
these.
Bro, yeah.
I remember my mom watching these like all the time.
She's manager, to be honest.
That's awesome.
But yeah, so I did that show. It was the same. I did three shows and then got kicked out. But it was like you just learn so much, even though it's like doesn't feel as good having to like maybe say things you don't want to or whatever. But I think going through all that is literally what made me where I am today, especially because of the people that I met. Yeah. Like Miami industry, it's so small and everyone knows everyone. And once you meet the right people, it's like just
you kind of
waiting
start to
on
take
the right
off.
moment.
Yeah.
So it all was.
It really is.
We've seen that at those events, to be honest.
Yeah.
Like people that we've met, we see them talking to like it's crazy how like they all know each other. Like that event we saw you guys at. I'm not gonna lie, like I was telling him, I was like, bro, I felt like we were I was like outside the group type thing. I felt like everyone else knew each other and we were like the only ones that didn't, because it was like our second time going to those events ever. That's how I still feel like that. Like we still feel like that sometimes too. You just like little by little start meeting people and start like working with them. But if not, it's like, and it's harder because when you're with people that you know, you don't. Yeah, you're like into yourselves. You're like, you stay around and you don't and go and like talk to someone new. And I tell them all the time, because I'm more like extrovert. I feel like if the vibe is right, I'll go talk to people. It's easier to talk, And I tell them, I was like, yo, let's go talk to like this person. Like, why not? And they're like, oh, nah. And I'm like, I don't want to be the only one talking, if you know. Yeah. But it's usually like that. Like we stay to each other. And it's like just 4 of us, and then we don't go out and talk to people, which is like, that's the point. Yeah, especially like, if that event, like specifically, like I know that's like a networking event. It's like I hate it. I'm not gonna lie, I hate it. Yeah, I make him go to them because I'm like, bro, like we need to like. I go based off him, especially because like who we're like trying to attract as like to get on the show and like share their stories are those people. So I'm like, we gotta go talk. And then like after we've been to a couple of them, more people have been like, oh, you guys are the guys from this, and like, and so it's like it's been easier. Right. But like those first 2 were like that first one, too, is specifically like the birthday. Yeah. I was like, I was really like in my shell. I was like, damn, bro. Like I did. We had a luckily there were some people that we knew from there. Oh, true. Yeah. So like we were like, oh, thank God. Like, but hey, at least if you take your little you know what I mean. Take your chill. But I don't drink. I don't drink anymore either. So now I was like, I don't know how it'll be. I'm like, fuck it. Nothing can help me at this point. Yeah. It's cool though. I just feel like it is super draining just because when you don't know someone, you're like talking to like 5 strangers and you kind of have to repeat the same script. To everybody. Thing that you say to everyone, and it's like, it is what it is, but it's you got to do it. Yeah, you have to. And it's like there's the one thing you can't get around. And once like I feel like once you get
cross like that barrier. Like I'm like, yo, this person is so cool. Like I'm like, yo, they've done so much cool shit, or like they have like so many cool experiences they talk about. And I'm like, that's dope.
For me, it's like the younger ones, like the ones younger than me, seeing where they're at. I'm like, damn, that's crazy. Like that, like really did that. Everything you've been through. I'm like, bro, I don't know. Like just doing this, I get nervous. So imagine being on like on a
and this is your show, bro.
And I'm a grown man. You know what I mean? Like imagine at 11. And then being told that, like, I'd have been like, all right, that's it. I'm done.
You'd be
I'm
like,
done.
I'm gonna be an accountant now.
Yeah.
Like you're like, I'm not doing anything.
Yeah.
It's tough.
But all right, so you were kind of getting into that you got into dance and stuff like that. So tell me a little bit about. We're gonna kind of skip a little bit forward, but tell me about X Factor.
Okay.
How that came about, because by now we know probably Mama Jer made it happen.
It was after La Banda.
Yeah.
I was like signed to other managers, and I started doing like my solo stuff, and I had gotten signed to Rock Nation at that point, and then like nothing much was like really happening, and then something happened that they switched like the team around, and then they had let me go. I was like, okay, it wasn't like meant to be, whatever. And then my manager calls me, and she's like, yo, do you want to be on the X Factor in a girl band? And I was like, no. Right. I had said no like several times because I was like, I feel like, I don't know. I'm scared because I don't know if I'm going to get along with them. Like, I don't want to just go into it.
Yeah.
Just for the hype of it. That's not really me. Like, if I don't feel good, I'm not going to do it, ever. And I said no like several times, and she was like, all right, what if we buy you your flight, your hotel, and everything, and you just go meet the girls, and if you like them, you stay, and if you don't lose anything. Yeah. You go back home. I was like, all right, why not?
Free trip.
I was like, free trip, let's go.
All expenses paid.
So I flew out. Mind you, I packed for like a week. I ended up staying 2 months.
Damn.
In LA. The first day I get there, I go to Simon's house. I meet like the team and everything. Yeah. They explain to me like what the process is and like what it is.
Wait. Simon
like, Cowell, yeah,
like the main guy.
The one you're thinking of.
The guy is always yelling at people.
He's actually so nice.
For real?
Yeah.
Yeah, I figure like it's like an act on TV.
Just a character. There's a lot of stuff with him. But I get there, they explain to me everything. I was like, all right, I'll meet them and go from there.
Yo.
The
mic didn't pick it up, but we know. I know. The mic didn't pick it up, but I know.
You never know.
Yeah.
¿Qué clase de?
No. That shit was strong.
But yeah. So I met them. We all met like in the lobby of the hotel. I was super nervous. Like my heart was racing. I was like, I don't know. I feel like super antisocial. Like I don't know how to start a conversation with y'all, but whatever. We like started to get to know each other. That's another crazy thing. We only had a week to audition. So we had to meet, like start getting to know each other, but also start rehearsing to sing
together. Yeah.
Like in a week.
And these are girls you just met right now in the moment.
Met.
Yeah.
And it was intense that week. It was like getting to know each one, like the voices, who does what harmony, the dance. It's just so much into one that it was intense. And so we auditioned, we made it through, and we ended up staying in LA for 2 months to like develop the group to then go to London for the live shows 2 months later.
Wow. Wait, so how was the dynamic at first? When you first did
Bro, no, we're gonna power through. I promise, it's not the mics don't pick it up, but we're gonna power through. It's just funny. Like this happens to us.
I feel like at that moment, it was scary. Like for me, it was the first time I traveled like by myself and like without my mom and all that stuff. And I don't know. It's like I don't even know what to think at that point because I'm like I don't know you guys, but like we need to get along, yes or yes, at least this week to audition. So I feel like it wasn't like super getting to know each other at that first week. Yeah. After like when we were in LA for 2 months, that's when you start like to get to know the person more. And even then, I feel like after a year, we were still getting to know each other. I feel like now, 4 years later, it's like, all right, we know each other.
Yeah.
And we know each other's like bullshit and all stuff, and like we could like confront each other and like be cool with it. But it's just weird in the beginning because it's like you're getting to know the person to the point where like, oh, I don't know if I should say this. Maybe I say it and then it bothers you, but then we're not like telling it to each other yet.
Right.
You're kind of just holding
it back. But it was a growing experience those 2 months in LA. But it was
I can
great.
imagine.
Like from nothing to then start going into rehearsals every day and develop the group.
Yeah, because all 4 of you being solo is before you did this, right?
Well, there was actually 5 of us.
Oh, 5 of us.
I forgot. That's
B5. Baba.
That's right.
That's an
B5.
important
It used to be
thing.
6 though, right? Or no?
It actually used to be 20.
Huh? No. Yeah, you got your hand. You were like,
wait, what?
you said, you're like,
I
how's
was
that work?
researching and I saw 6.
No, there
but
was 5.
It's always been 5.
It's-
Also, his website
was
website
5,
lied to
4
me, bro.
now.
Like that's crazy. Never mind.
Like you see, like the math
I
equations.
was like,
in his head,
little Jimmy Neutron thing.
Yeah.
I'm like the wrong group.
Yeah.
yeah.
No, it was 5, and then one in the like LA section. She left. We auditioned someone else. She came in. I was like, she was like the one I was super close with. She was the one from Mexico.
Okay.
And then after London, all that stuff, when we were in the pandemic, she like decided to leave. But we had like 2 fifth member.
Oh, like right,
fifth
Yeah.
And then you realize you're like, we just want 4.
Yeah.
At that point, I was like, I think it's meant for us to be 4.
Yeah.
If like this is happening. But yeah, we went to London, and then the live shows, it was intense because like we were like the only Latin
Saw that.
people.
Saw the audition.
Yeah.
It was such a great experience. Like I grew so much just being thrown into like performing every week and having to like.
What do you think you learned the most out of that? Like in terms of like that you take to this day. Like something, it could be like, I don't know, like something that you learned about like, I don't know, songwriting or like performing. Like you said, like you had to perform every week, so like something.
Or about yourself too.
Yeah.
I just feel like I learned that I could.
Because it's uncomfortable.
Yeah, because you're like.
It's super uncomfortable.
Holding it?
Yeah, from the bottom because it's heavy.
We need another.
Do it how you do it then.
All right, bet.
He said, all right, bet.
I was gonna do it either way.
He's like, wait a minute.
Yeah.
Hold it back.
Literally.
I don't know. I learned so much. I feel like what I learned the most, and it was like, I don't know, that I could do it.
Yeah.
Like every week having to do interviews, rehearse. Like only in technically like 3 days we had to have everything like super together to show Simon on Thursday, and then him either change it or leave it.
Yeah.
To then change whatever he says to then perform it on Friday or Saturday. And it was intense. But I feel like that, because we got pushed into that so quickly, we were able to grow so fast as a group. Like we never really went through like a development phase like most artists go through.
Yeah.
We just got
Put
into it.
Yeah.
I feel that's been your life in general.
Yeah.
You see it like as a child, like your mom throwing you into the shows and
That's
this.
how you learn quick.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I feel like this is the best way.
Yeah.
That's how I learned how to swim.
Yeah.
I just got thrown in the
Literally,
water.
just
bro,
throw you in the
low-key.
water. Figure it out.
I swear to God. My
Yeah.
godfather threw me in the deep end.
Yeah. That's what
Yeah,
they do.
that's how he taught his kids. So that's how he
That's what they
taught
do with
me.
me too.
Yeah.
They're like, you gonna figure it out. And then I did.
Yeah, literally.
I mean, figure it out as long as it doesn't kill you.
You
No, I
feel
know.
me?
They're watching, but
Yeah,
they're
they're lucky. Like,
they're like, is he breathing?
They're like, I'll give him a few more seconds. If not, I'll pick him back up.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it depends.
So do you guys all live together? I'm
We
curious.
did for a year,
And now you're on your own?
and now it was time.
Bet.
It was time to
Yeah.
everyone separate.
Yeah.
Yeah, that year was tough. Because even though we knew each other, there's nothing
Right.
like living with someone.
Yeah.
It's like you pick up on like, bro, why'd this person leave this here? Or like,
Exactly.
Little things that get
yeah.
everything.
You're like, why is the toothbrush this way? Yeah.
But living that for a year,
Yeah.
it was like, all right, this is this. I don't like this. You got to do this. Like, we got put to the test,
Right.
literally. And I feel like going through super tough situations and us still not breaking up, it's like, all right, we can, anything
through
can happen and we can still be together. And it's like family. Like, you fight, but you just talk about it. Don't, like, cross the line or,
Yeah.
like, you know the limits. And it's just learning, but it was tough.
It's tough, yeah.
Yeah.
It's super dope though, cause like you don't usually see groups last that long.
Mm-hmm.
That's why, especially
Yeah.
being like put together like that. Like
Right.
you guys don't know each other. So the chemistry was like basically there.
And I feel like that's the thing. Like most of the groups that have been together, I feel like we're kind of forced to be together. And I feel like with us, we decided to stay together after the X Factor. Like after the X Factor, we had gotten signed, like to them. Then we got let go because of the pandemic. And then when that happened, it's like, okay, what do we do now? And we decided to stay together no matter what. And I think that's what.
Like, yeah, like you had the way to get out. Like you had the out, and then you're like, no, we're gonna do this together.
Exactly.
Is that when TikTok started taking off for you guys?
Yes.
Pandemic.
In the pandemic.
TikTok took off for a lot
everybody.
Of people. Yeah.
We were like, we have nothing else. We can't perform. We can't really release music or anything because there was like, I don't know, visa issues that we couldn't work. And all we had was social media. And the girls had moved here. They were here for 3 months. And we were like, let's just open the app and start TikTok. Like, why not?
Yeah.
And show like that we're from different like places, show that we dance, show that we sing. And then we started this like matching outfits thing. And for some reason in a month we hit 1 million.
That's crazy.
In a month.
Just like 1 million.
Like out of nowhere. And I was like, all right, this is
something.
We need to use this because this is our only way right now to be able to gain followers for when we do release music. We have people.
Yeah, but that's literally all we want.
Yeah,
you know what I mean, like we gotta learn how to dance, bro.
Yeah, I think that's what it comes down to.
You gotta teach us the TikTok dance.
Let's go.
I'm down. No, not now. Obviously, we gotta prepare it mentally.
Yeah, literally.
But yeah, it was crazy.
I mean that. I feel like during that time though, like how audiences viewed like artists changed also, because one thing that I like that you guys do is like you guys do like vlogs and stuff like that, and I feel like nowadays, like the audience wants to get to know you on a personal level, and I feel like you guys do that like really well.
Thank you. Well, we just kind of switched like our content sort of, because it was like going into like this influencer thing because of what we were doing during the pandemic. Because what we were mostly doing was like trends and stuff to gain like the followers and stuff, because that's what gets you the followers. And when it got to the point where like we were only being recognized as influencers, we were like, okay, it's time to
switch back.
To switch back into like who we are, us as artists, because that's like what we want to be like known as for our music and all that stuff. So it was like this whole thing of like, okay, let's start doing vlogs where they can know us like individually, know us like as a group and our personality. Because nothing against influencers. I think it's a tough job.
Super tough job.
We've learned that. It's a tough, like
honestly,
from influencers that we interviewed, like, yo, it's a tough job.
I used to make fun of it at first. I'm like, bro, it's not, like, you're getting paid to like post. But then when I realized, I'm like, nah, never mind.
No, it's tough. Like we have meetings on Mondays that we sit down for 2.5 hours or 3 sometimes, just marketing what it is that we're gonna post and what's gonna be big. Like it's a job. And it's not like we just decide to, like when I do TikTok, I just put my phone and do it for fun. But when it's us, it's like this whole strategy and like a full day of filming. Like one day of the week, that's the day we film, and we film I don't know how many videos to have it saved up if we have to go, if someone has to leave. Like it's a whole
And is it all you guys agreeing on something, or is it someone else like telling you like, oh, you guys should do this?
Well, now thankfully we have a marketing team that just joined. Like now it's kind of like we're elevating the project.
The projection. I mean the product. I'll say the projection. No, the
project. But before, everything was just us.
Yeah.
Like we would do everything on our own. But now thankfully we have people that are like there that are gonna help us, and we have help. But before it was just us.
That's tough, bro. Yeah. Like that's we need a marketer.
Right now right now he's our marketer.
I'm marketing creative director.
But
wear a lot of hats.
It's actually good when you do it kind of like by yourself to a certain point, because you learn so much. Yeah, like
I'm like whoever comes around, like I know, like you're not gonna hustle me.
Oh, that's true.
Like I know exactly what we need to do.
And also, even when having help, I feel like it's so important to be a part of whatever it is, because I feel like it happens to some artists that they just allow, like they sit back and let everyone like do everything for them, which is also like there's nothing against that, but you can tell when you're not.
It's not you.
It's not you. and like people don't connect when like you're
It's
not a
not-
part
yeah,
of something.
yeah.
Like you can tell. So I feel like that's why we've always been so a part of everything, every part of like if it's the outfits, if it's this, if it's the music, we're always on it. And even now that we have help, it's like a collaboration type. Like we're not letting them do everything for us.
That's awesome. Yeah, because it's like that can make you lose the fun of it like really quick.
Yeah.
If like you're just feeling like you're just doing somebody else's thing and not really like you have no input.
Exactly.
I feel like that keeps you interested in like what you're putting out too.
Yeah.
So that's awesome. You have anything? No.
I mean, yeah, I got my notebook.
He's
my
like,
bad.
give me a second.
Hold up.
Oh my God.
I haven't touched it.
I need to
I feel
drink
like
water.
it's rude.
Yeah, go.
I feel like it's rude to be on the phone when you're doing interviews.
So
I write it down.
Brandon has like a little.
Yeah. Plus, it's like my anxiety journal, so to speak. Oh, because when I look at your dances, it reminds me a lot of like Step Up. So I was kind of curious.
Wow, I don't think I've ever gotten.
Is that like a
That's a great
super big compliment in
of
like the
course.
dance world?
Yeah.
Have you ever had like a dance battle? I'm always curious.
It's cringe though.
Was it really?
It was me. It's me and this friend of mine. He's also a dancer, but it's when we were younger, and it would be like house party. Like it's not even at the club. Like you imagine it being like super movie. It's like us
At the house?
at a house party with like a few friends and us battling. Like it's cringe.
Did
but
you feel weird doing it, or you
no,
were like
I
in
felt
your
like
vibe?
I was
You're
in the Step Up movie.
Did you win, or did you?
I mean, I don't want to. You
You
know.
Don't want to put the guy on
I
blast.
don't want to put him on blast.
Only reason
Nah, we both ate.
Only reason I asked that is because we had a moment at the
I was gonna bring it up right now.
at the first
Dude.
event we went to, and he has his back turned to it, and I kind of do too, but I can see it from like peripheral vision, and I look to my left and I see a big circle, and I'm like, oh, what's going on here?
Yeah.
And then I see this girl like doing like the same. Same way you guys do it, and I'm like, bro, what? I tell him like, Lion, look,
No,
and it's like
there was
literally
a-
having
like,
a
right
whole.
There was a
me.
battle.
Dude,
I guess.
at one of those events that we've seen each other at, like I was getting a drink and then I have my back turned. Like I'm at the bar, I have my back turned.
Oh, you see in the corner?
Yeah.
No.
Literally,
And
that's
then
what I
a
saw.
giant circle formed, and we're like, "What the hell is that?" Like, I'm like trying to like.
I think a
move.
line almost ended up in the middle by
No,
accident.
yeah.
Yeah, because he was just walking
we were
backwards.
pushing each other. I'm like, "Yo." Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
But was this like at a club?
No, this was like at a rooftop. Like,
Yeah, in
Similar
Brickell.
to where we.
Yeah.
Yeah.
and then like randomly, just out of a sudden, like, "Yo, like there's just like a dance battle happening." And that was our first one. Was like, "Yo, is this normal here?" Like,
Yeah.
It's so. I mean, I usually go out.
Yeah.
When I go out, it's usually like with dancers and
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
That happens mostly every night. If you go out with dancers,
dancers?
it's
Okay.
like out of nowhere. There's a circle. And it's just a Step Up movie, and it makes me so like
happy? Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
like, this is real life.
this happens
I would
for
think
real.
I'd be like, I'm like, damn, again, bro. Like, you guys, like,
Like you're just trying to pass
Not
it.
again.
Damn, but I got caught in the middle.
now, do you have like a go-to routine, or you just make it up on the spot?
Oh, if I go out with dancers, you will not catch me in the middle. I
Oh,
will be.
okay.
I get
By yourself?
I'm in the corner. I'm like in my own thing. I'm like grooving.
You're like,
The-
ah,
the-
bro,
the-
like
the-
you're
the-
just
the
cheering
one,
on
two
type of
step.
thing?
I'm like step, clap,
Yeah.
step.
You're just drinking your hand, just
Bro, literally,
Exactly.
just nodding in my
just
head.
watching. Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
I can't do it because they be doing like they're like Step Up.
Oh,
Like
okay.
they're
I was like,
break dancing. Like they're
Yeah,
going
That's
on.
no, yeah.
Like
bro.
you will not see me on a headstand.
Yeah.
Dude,
Just spinning. I'm
at
like,
all.
yo, they were crumping. I was like, yo, this is crazy.
Yeah.
dang.
Damn, I was,
They were wild.
no,
They
it
were
was like,
going ham.
I was like, yo, like this is like, I thought they
And it
were
was like-
filming something. I was like, for real, like I was
And
You're
like,
I ain't gonna lie,
"Where's
the girl took it.
cameras?"
literally.
The girl took it. I'm not gonna lie. And like in my opinion, like if my opinion ever
No,
like,
she-
mattered
yeah,
in that,
she-
I was like, the girl took
You
it.
should have gone in the middle, been like,
Yeah,
Yeah,
literally.
yeah. Just raise her hand.
People would have been like, who is this guy? Like,
But they would have called you forever
bro,
to
for sure.
to do the.
yeah. I would have done it.
you
Yeah,
look
no.
like a dancer though.
No.
Yeah, you did. Yeah.
You do it. You
Yo,
do.
I'm out of our friend group. I'm like the worst one dancing.
No, yeah.
But you
like-
like you look like
The vibe.
you
The-
could
the
fucking
vibe?
bust out right now.
Yeah.
That's I love that compliment.
You know-
'Cause
you know who he
that's
gets
how I
caught-
try to come dressed like.
You know who he gets confused for?
Oh my god,
Do you know? Have you watched In the Heights?
Oh my god.
He looks like
Yeah.
Anthony
Yes,
Ramos.
you do.
bro, they didn't believe me at first though. They
No.
say it now, but they're
I
like,
was I'm not even gonna lie to you. This whole interview, I've been trying to figure out who it is.
You could have said Mike Towers too. You know what I mean? Nah, man.
no.
That's like a joke. That's like a joke on the pod. That's like a joke on the pod.
He says that he looks like Mike Towers, but everyone we ever ask, they're always like, no.
Yeah. I'll never forget when Henry, we had him passed on, and I was doing like this thing.
And Henry knows Mike Towers.
Yeah, Henry knows. That's why I asked him.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, he's met him before. This, and he's gonna say yes for sure.
He's like,
and he's like, bro, you think you look like Farruko or Mike Towers?
Yeah.
He's like, you're closer to Farruko, to be honest.
But
yeah.
But yes, you look like
Anthony Ramos.
We had a funny moment in Orlando.
Yeah, we were at we were in Disney
test track.
Yeah, and we were like in line for something, and one of the workers was like, "Yo," like he had
like
a double take.
Yeah.
He was like, "Yo, you Anthony Ramos?" And he's like, "No." He's like, "Say, bro, you look exactly like."
You should have said yes.
I know.
told him. I was like, "Yo, you missed your chance."
I'm gonna start playing it to him. I'm like, yo, I'm his brother or I'm his cousin or something.
Yeah,
like
you could for sure say something like
Why
that.
not?
They could.
Like,
Who go check
I get
you?
it at work all the
You're
time.
not gonna go to jail.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Or like, look at the fake Drake. He makes money off of that.
Yeah.
Oh my
bro,
God.
you're missing out on millions. You're missing out on money.
That's
Bro, if
crazy.
he blows up, because he's kind of big time, but he's not there yet, I think.
You haven't seen like the fake fade and the fake like
There's a Rihanna too. But
Yeah,
yeah.
there's
but
a whole like world of that.
Like a Brazilian Rihanna, and she looks exactly the same.
Yeah.
And
crazy.
she's making so much money.
Dude, you didn't see the viral clip of the guy
This is
who
my
was
calling,
dressed
bro.
up as Fade and he went to the beach asking girls.
Oh, yeah. I did
when they
see
were in
that.
Miami.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
No, I think it was in Puerto Rico. He was performing in
maybe
Puerto
in
Rico.
Puerto
Yeah, it
Rico,
was in
yeah.
Puerto Rico.
So all you need to do is go to the beach, learn a song from In the Heights.
I know.
Yeah.
Damn.
Or just do
learn
like
how to
Transformers.
dance. I feel like dancing is easier because singing, I'm like, nah, I'm wasted.
Just
In
learn
the
a few
shower,
steps.
maybe. You know what I mean? Like, everyone has a good voice in the shower, but
Facts.
like, learning how to dance, that's easier. You know, I just got to stretch a little bit because I'm
Yeah.
stiff. That's my main issue. I'm stiff.
Just learn a few steps.
Yeah, yeah.
and
Exactly.
You're him.
Well, yeah, exactly. You're him. I love that. Bro,
You
where the fuck were
were
you?
asking though, so I think something else.
Was I?
And then we went into
forgot.
No,
step
we were
up.
talking about like just breakdancing.
Oh, just breakdancing in general, yeah. Nah,
Oh, yeah.
but
You said I saw your dance videos and something.
Like you run your stuff up. Stuff
Oh, yeah.
up.
Oh,
like,
okay,
that you
okay,
guys
okay,
remind
okay,
me of
okay,
stuff up,
okay,
yeah.
okay. It wasn't a question. It was like a.
yeah,
Yeah,
kind of
yeah.
like a compliment. Well, I didn't know it was a compliment, but
But it's okay. Thank God.
Thank God, yeah.
It is a good
No,
compliment.
it's funny. No, when you were like, oh, do you have like a routine memorized? I'm like, yo, I could just imagine like, yo, if
She's like, this is my go-to.
Yeah, like
You know what
if all else goes wrong, I got this routine.
Yeah,
that's gonna
literally,
kill.
that's what I was thinking. I was like, I
That's
wonder if
hilarious.
like you guys go into a thing or you just make it up on the spot.
Like you have an
Which is-
emergency, like in case of fire, just
Yeah.
I feel
Bust
like
it down.
there is some steps
yeah.
that once you freestyle, I feel like you have nowhere to go. There's like similar
Yeah.
steps that you do often, but I don't feel like it's a routine unless you learn a routine like at a class
Yeah.
and then you decide to do it. But usually that's not.
It's not. It doesn't look as good, right?
It's not usually what they do. Like,
Yeah. 'Cause I feel like you gotta go like
I
to
feel
the
they'll
rhythm
call
of
you out.
music that's in the moment, basically.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And usually at clubs and stuff, it's like where dancers like decide to freestyle and take that moment to like be free.
I wonder
Like
if
someone-
Style.
Somebody's gonna call you out like, yo, I saw him do that last week.
They're like, yo, wasn't this from yesterday's class?
yeah. He's like, yo, fake. Yeah.
like, yo,
Probably.
chill. Like,
yo, don't blow my
you
spot
being
right
shot out, bro.
What were you gonna say?
Nah, you keep throwing it back
No,
to me, bro. You're not having
Because you were
shit,
gonna
bro.
say something. All right.
No.
He's like, it's time to check your notebook.
Bro, yeah, literally.
Now I was gonna say kind of like switching lanes, but like you guys were talking about like when you were performing for X Factor, and I saw a video of you guys when you guys performed in Mexico and Spain.
Oh,
Can you tell me about that? Like what was going through your head? Like
Well,
how was that like?
Mex-
That was full.
Mexico was like our first ever performance and festival. And well, performance out of the X Factor, like the real world performance. And I will never ever forget that moment. As soon as I like left the stage, I just started bawling.
Yeah.
Cause it was like we're not super big yet, and the way that the crowd was like interacting, like I felt like Beyonce type shit. Nice. And the way they were crying with us, they were like so passionate. I'm like, this is insane.
Yeah.
And this is our first festival. Like, how is this happening right now? And just the way that they were connected, it was unbelievable. Like, I will never, ever forget that performance.
Yeah.
It was so special. I was super nervous, too, because it was, like, the biggest. It's the first performance, and the stage is huge.
Yeah, for sure.
Like, what? Like, it's not like, all right, let's go perform at my mom's house as the
In front of
first
family,
performance.
yeah.
It's, like, this huge stage. Like, we performed at the same stage that Becky performed. Becky G, and like other huge artists.
That's huge.
And like as the first, like what?
Yeah, like you're kind of setting the vibe. You're setting the tone, like kind of in a way.
And we didn't have a band. We didn't have dancers. Like it was just us four and like this huge stage. So obviously, like usually when you do like a festival that big, you have like stuff to fill in for you, like a band or dancers, like to make everything like
look as one, basically.
Look as like big.
Yeah.
And it was just us four, our dance and our music, and we looked so tiny on stage. But the way that it was, I'm like, damn, like.
Yeah,
this is something
that like I guess that that adrenaline, like adrenaline high. Oof. It must have been crazy. Especially seeing people like I feel like seeing people cry with you, like for the like it, but of excitement is kind of like I'm like damn I did that.
You fucking did it.
Yeah. It's so special, and sometimes like obviously the worst thing that you could feel is like you being on stage and someone just like. Or on their phone or like not paying attention. Like that's the worst feeling. So everyone there feeling that and like being in the moment was what
like made it for you.
Feel so emotional.
That's awesome.
Bro, for me, I tell them this because I'm like, this is why I can never be an artist because we went to Vibra. And you know how like they have like the different stages.
Right.
So like the one stage is for smaller artists and then the other stage is for like the main artists. That's where everybody's at. So then at the smaller stage, we're kind of just showing love, but there's some guys that had like literally just their friends there. Yeah. And it's like 4 or 5 people. And I'm like, bro, to perform, like if you're performing in front of 5 people, like it's crazy. But then you're performing in front of 5 people, like it's like 100. But like to keep that up, I don't know. I wouldn't be able to do it.
It's tough. This was like our first festival, but before that we had done VidCon in Mexico. But it was like, there was like 10 people.
And you're still.
But we performed it like if there was
like
30,000 people there. And there was another person on a podcast that was there, and they were like, oh, this girl group was there, like nobody knew about them, but they performed like if there was mad people. And I feel like that's so special because it's like no matter who's there, who's watching, you still give it your best.
Right.
And you also never know because maybe out of the 10 people,
you make new fans. Exactly. Maybe they didn't know who you were, and they're like, "Oh, it's not." Yeah.
And it's special, no matter
what. Yeah.
But you still gotta go off. It's hard though if like those 10 people are just there, like if it's like that, it's tough to keep up like that hype.
Yeah.
Like when we were there, I was trying to be like, "Yo, let me give them some energy."
Literally, because.
Yeah, because at that point we had just got into that festival, so like that's the first thing. That's the first stage you see, and then you have to like if you want to go to the other one, you have to like walk through everything. But like at the same time, that stage was where like Young Miko performed.
Yeah, but that's when she was on her like.
No,
she was like either on her rise or like kind of already there.
Yeah, I think she could have headlined that. To be honest with you,
bro, people were running. I always say this because to me that stood out the most. Because like I said, this stage was empty majority of the time. We left. Who was it early? I think it was Lunai.
Yeah, it might have been Lunai.
And Eladio was next.
He was the headliner.
Like they were both performing at the same time, so I'm like, damn, I don't know if Yamiko's thing is gonna be like full or anything. Dude. So we left a little earlier, but bro, like when I tell you like
really
she's midway, especially like her blowing up after the Bad Bunny concert. But like I remember like through her first song, I look back and people are sprinting
from the other stage where like Eladio and all of them are performing to see her, and I was like, yo, this is crazy.
That's another thing with festivals is that your set could be probably like at the same time as someone else that's freaking huge. Yeah. So it's just probably like you have bad luck and people won't even be able to be there. So that's why I went in it with like this expectation of like whatever happens, whoever's there, I'm still gonna enjoy myself. And the first song there was like barely anyone. Yeah. Going into the second song out of nowhere, I don't know how it got to that many people. Yeah. Everyone just bunched up, and there was like mad people. And I feel like I'm like, damn, we must be doing like something right, because I feel like they were walking by probably to go somewhere else,
and they saw you
guys.
And then
they saw it, and they're like, okay, I'm gonna stay here, and like.
It takes a lot, bro. Yeah. Honestly, because like if you think about it, like what I saw for
the psychology of like people who are like passing by, Damn. Bro, yeah, you got to be able to like capture attention. Like people who are there's so much going on in their world. Like they're running from one stage to another. Maybe they're like, oh, I gotta go to the bathroom. Oh, I gotta get food, whatever.
That or like maybe
you catch them like it's not like a concert where like they're there to see you.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like you're catching them like going like walking by.
Exactly.
So
because they could be going somewhere to someone else, like they want to set up, but now they're taking their time out. That's my biggest thing is like people take their time out to come watch you, so you gotta perform like.
And there's people that be like getting there early as fuck to be in front for like the last artist that performs.
Oh yes.
So those people don't even move.
Yeah, they just stay there the whole day.
They just stay there the whole.
That's
the
why I
whole
hate.
time.
Honestly, that's why I hate festivals. Cause like if you do get the front, like when you leave, good luck trying to get back.
Oh,
basically, and it's the worst. Even though Vibra does have it down the right way.
With the VIP
I like the way with
They
the
have it
VIP
set differently.
and tiers. Yeah, I was like, I don't know if everybody, because that's like the only like actual festival I've ever been to. Type
At
of
least
thing.
like reggaeton or like Latin music festival.
Or not even, because I've never even been to Rolling Loud.
Yeah.
Because like those type of crowds have never really caught my
I
attention.
think I went to Vibra. Well, my friend had like a free ticket, and I went to see Fade and was it Fade and Such performed?
I think.
No.
Well, we saw Fade at that one.
Yeah,
I think
Fade and Ozuna
It
performed.
was. I think it was like a year from like now.
I don't know if
It
you
was- it was
performed
in
that the year
I think
before.
It might have been.
It was in December last year.
Oh,
Oh no
last
no
year.
no no no! Then I went to another one.
There was one in Vegas and there was one in Miami also, like 2 years.
Was it in Miami?
It was in Miami, another festival.
I think Fade did
It might
perform
have
at that
been-
one though.
Fade and Such performed.
Was it recently?
No.
Like
It's probably like
7 months ago,
Oh,
6
no.
months ago.
Oh no, I don't think it was Vibra.
But it was like a
Yeah.
festival. But I don't remember which one.
I was like, the only
It was.
festival, the other one I know is Euphoria. But I don't,
It might have been that.
but that was recently.
Oh no.
Like I
Yo
invited
estoy
to
más
it.
perdida, entonces no sé cuál.
Whatever.
No.
When did you saw Fade?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yo, that was crazy. Like seeing Fade, like and
Nah, I'm gonna be honest with you. Like I love him, but like I feel like the crowd in Miami didn't give him like the
They didn't
love
give
that
him
he
love.
deserved. He had, you know how like artists do this thing where like they pause so then the crowd can sing.
they
it?
can feel the noise.
He did that twice, and both times no one did anything.
Yeah, like our
was
section
like-
was singing it, but we looked around, we're like, yo, no one's.
Yeah,
like,
'cause we had a couple
No one's
Colombians
matching the vibe.
Right.
We had a couple Colombians around us, and we were with
Yeah.
your barber.
My barber's Colombian, and he's a super fan.
Yeah, super big fan. So
So-
he was singing it, but like you would hear the roar if it was like in Colombia or something like that. You know what I mean? You would
Yeah.
hear everybody else
You
singing.
see the
it, but-
videos
Like
of-
Miami. Sorry.
Yeah. No.
Now go
Miami's. I love Miami, but Miami's like
bandwagonish. Yeah.
when it comes to like the actual fan and stuff, it's like I don't know where.
I don't. It's
Y'all
never
at-
been that city like that, in
It's
my
like
opinion.
unless you're Bad Bunny, Raúl Alejandro, and stuff like in that
True.
club,
Yeah.
it's like
It doesn't. I don't know. It's just like for me with sports or like concerts like
Anything.
that. I feel like Miami is just like it's a top place because it's one of the biggest cities in America. But
It's the hub
But
for
it
Latin
doesn't-
America and
yeah,
the
the-
US.
but like it doesn't give.
Or one of them.
I don't know. It
Because LA
just,
also-
for me, it doesn't give like real fan culture.
and I feel like there's also so many different Latin
Yeah.
people here. It's all like a whole bunch of people, and it's not like I don't
It's
know, like Colombia, Mexico, and it's like
Dominican Republic.
exactly.
Oh, yeah, yeah,
It's
yeah.
like just a combination, and it's like weird.
There's no like one
There's
identity.
no exactly.
Yeah.
And that like I don't know.
Yeah. Like we talked
tough.
about it before. We're like, yo, like to make it out of Miami is tough. Like as an artist, because it's like Miami. We feel like we love it, but sometimes it won't give you like the love until it sees that other people give you the love.
Exactly.
It kind of has like that New York vibe where like you don't get accepted until like everyone else accepts it. Then
Yeah.
they're like, all right.
Then they're
yeah,
like,
yeah.
yo,
Exactly.
he's been our
he's
boy.
from Miami. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, literally. That's how. Like, yeah. We
It's,
talk about
it's
it.
tough making it.
but then again, I do like it like that because it makes you like grind harder basically. Because if I feel like if it was just giving it to you, like it wouldn't matter as much. I don't
That
know.
is true. That is true.
It's also like Miami had like a little bit of a haters, bro. Like,
What little?
like
It's like everybody hates, not
Like,
hates on you, but it's just like
they see you trying
preying
to go.
on your, yeah.
Yeah, they see you trying to go for something, and they're like, "Look at this guy, bro! Like, what do you do?" Like,
Another podcast, literally.
Or like, think about like everybody in high school who used to talk shit
Oh my
of
God.
like, bro, like, what is this person doing? Like it's like, bro, like that guy's like he's trying to make something, like he's
Yeah.
trying to like do something, like that's cool. Not like judging this guy for like trying to make his dreams happen. I
It's
don't know.
like-
That's literally why I went to into homeschooling. I left. I finished.
Oh, really?
I did my
Oh,
first
that was
year.
my question. All right, yeah, go ahead.
I did my first
Really?
year of high school, and then
Did you go to
going-
Gables?
huh?
Did you go to Gables
To
also?
Coral Gables. First year, second year, I did like a week, and then I told my mom I was like, I'm gonna do homeschooling, and then I'm gonna focus and train and do all this because I don't know. There was something about like waking up every day and doing that same thing with like people that I feel like weren't
Yeah.
mentally like where I'm at in my
Yeah.
career.
Yeah.
I'm like, and they don't understand either because it's not like there was anyone specific like
That you could relate
pushing
to.
me
Yeah,
or like
yeah, yeah.
that was going through what I was
Yeah.
going through, and I was like, I'm gonna I'm leaving.
Yeah.
I was gonna ask like, what was the dynamic in school? Because you've been on shows since you were a little kid, so like, I can imagine like the stardom you had at school. Because I'm pretty sure everybody knew that you were.
Yeah, I mean, you already know, like some people don't, they like didn't fuck with me, and then after they were like,
oh wow,
like, bro, I've noticed since like,
bro,
exactly. They're like, who is best friends? I was
bro, it's
like,
my cousin. It's like, you're like, bro, okay, bro.
No, it's actually like that, and at that age, like middle school and stuff, it's like, people aren't like, they're not mentally mature. And
true.
But even there's mentally mature people, y aún como que son así, pero yeah, it was.
So you were homeschooled, damn. You ever wonder like what it would have been like being in high school?
Always. But also, I wonder what it would have been like for like friendship. Like if I would have maybe met someone like second year further along or third year, and if I would have like continued with that friend. Because there's a friend of mine that he's like still friends with all his middle school like friends, and they're like super close. And I don't have that with anyone that I went to school with. So I'm like, damn, like I kind of wish I had that like best friend from.
It's hard to maintain that. You know, I only have one friend from middle school, really. Yeah. Yeah. Well, actually, let me recheck that. Because I forget sometimes. I'm like, oh, you did go to Ponce. My bad.
I didn't go to Ponce.
But no, I'm saying in general. But Ray is like the only friend that I have that like from Ponce, basically.
Yeah.
And we've been friends ever since. But it's hard to maintain that.
Yeah. I mean, you notice it, and like you notice it after you leave high school. And I guess you noticed it earlier.
Yeah.
But it's like after you leave high school, everyone goes separate ways. It's like, all right, like you think in your senior year, like, oh, like I'm gonna know these people forever. Like we're gonna, bro. As soon as like
the minute you graduate high school, that's it. Like,
as soon as they give you a diploma and like you go home that day, you'll never see half the people there.
It's like a cruise. You're best friends with whoever's there.
It's like these are the people you're forced to be friends with if you really think about it.
Literally,
you just go to the same school because it's public school. I mean, you're just going to school with people that's in your area, and then that's it.
Yeah. Those moments be sad though. I recently, well, not super recent, but like a few months ago, I went on a trip to Cancun with my parents, and I met friends the last day. Also, I don't know why that happens, that you meet someone the last day.
Yeah. You're like, damn, where were you this whole time?
And it was like such a random group, but they were so nice. I'm like, why is it so hard for me to like make friends like this back home? And I feel like in like a vacation or stuff, you're
not really
forced, and you're not really like, you know, you're not gonna like see them again, kind of. So you just like throw yourself out there.
Yeah.
But
it's also here, bro. People here are haters, though.
Yeah, but it's crazy. Like, it would be hard for you to relate to people in high school because I feel like mentally you're just on a different level at that age.
Yeah.
Especially being everything you went through.
It's crazy. There's not a lot of people like at that age that know what it is that they want. Yeah, exactly. Like
people are lost in college.
Yeah.
Some people will still be lost today.
Yeah, today, like, you know what I mean? Like, and then you being on that path and knowing that you want to do that, which is crazy because like dancing, a lot of people don't look at it as like a, you know, something that you can provide for it, that type of thing. So, but I mean, you've made literally the most, like,
out of your
I don't want to say the most out of it because you still have
a lot to go.
A lot to go, basically.
But with what I've
done so far, it's like, it's pretty eye-opening, to be honest.
It's crazy how many people, like how many dancers and stuff go through that of like their parents not supporting because like it's so hard to make it and to make money because it's such a patient and waiting game.
Yeah.
And it happens with like the industry, like even like with sports. Like it takes so long. Yeah. Or you could get so lucky and start super young. But also, I'm glad that I didn't get super big so young because I feel like I was able to enjoy
your childhood in a sense.
My childhood. Like I see Justin Bieber, for example, and that shit makes me sad.
Yeah, a lot of those child stars, they're all messed up
like,
mentally.
Yes, you're iconic and you're this legend, which is great, but like you've gone through so much and you didn't really get to enjoy being a kid, and that's sad. That's super sad.
I feel like it's not worth it, in my opinion.
I don't.
It's tough.
Because I'm not money driven.
Thing is, it's like there's not a lot of them that like end up being, because I feel like if you give a kid everything they've ever wanted, like when they're like little,
what do you work for?
And mentally that like messes up like their mindset of like, oh yeah, like I was listening to this other podcast and they were talking about like how he's a father and his kid is like literally there's a father and his kid is like trying to be a child actor, and he's like, yo, like a producer offered my kid a puppy. like to get him to act. And I'm like, bro, like I have to take care of this dog. Like, what are you doing? Like,
Yeah, literally.
Exactly.
he's like, why are you offering this kid like all these things? It's like, no, he's a regular kid. Like he's gonna go to school. He's gonna do this, but he just happens to like want to act.
Exactly.
So like it messes up like their mindset and how they think of like their goals and like their value.
Yeah.
It's like if I don't do this, I'm not valuable.
Exactly.
So I feel like it's like
But that's Hollywood in general.
It is.
Because everything is about like what can you give, and the minute you can stop providing that, they're like, all right, next.
It just sucks because like what's gonna inspire you to like continue to strive for more if you've already done everything you've ever wanted. Like I want to get to that point, but get to that point when I'm like ready to
like the perfect
to
balance.
like have a family and like to kind of like be done. Yeah. Sort of.
Honestly though, like I feel like being in that world, you gotta choose either one. You have to either be all in to like really make it, and I mean like in general, like acting, singing, levels, all that. Yeah, to get to get to Bad Bunny level, like you have to be. Everything you do is based on like where you want to get to.
Yeah. Like I want to get to that level, but not so fast.
Yeah, you want
like I want to always have something to work towards. You know that like makes me want to get up and work every day. Cause like going on a tour at 13, Justin Bieber, for example. Yeah. And you already did a full tour that was sold out and all that stuff. Like, you're not going to really want to continue to do that for so many years when you've already done it. So that's what I mean, like, by that. But it's hard.
It's hard. Bro, imagine setting out a tour at 13 and being like, all right, well, what's next?
What's
it's like,
next?
There's nothing else. Like,
bro, it's like,
this is it. Like,
no one's ever told him no. Yeah. He doesn't know what the word no means. Like, he gets whatever he
hasn't
wants.
heard no in a long time. Because anything, at a certain level, like, you can get anything
you want.
You want. So it's like, that's also like a tough responsibility too, bro. It's like still being like mentally like strong enough to be like, no, look, like I need to do this. We were talking earlier about like getting to that perfect age when you're like, all right, like now I'm gonna shift and like start a family. You know what I feel is doing that now is Carol. Carol G. Yeah, Carol G is like she's achieving like crazy levels of fame, and like every year she's grown like a crazy amount. But she said in interviews, like I forgot, she was in an interview with Chente. And she told him like, oh, like pretty soon I think I'm gonna stop because I want to raise a family. Yeah. And like that, she's thinking. I feel like she's doing this now, so she can be like, you know what, like maybe after like in this year or next year, like this is my last. I'm done making music.
But even then, I feel like when you're at that point, you could kind of stop and start whenever you want. Like she could stop maybe for like a bit, like have her family, but then she could release songs. Like when you're at that point, you're lucky, I think, to chill for a bit when you're already good to live life, and then you could like do other things, like do a clothing line, do other stuff, like Rihanna. While you're still like chill. Rihanna,
bro, she doesn't even sing because she makes so much from her
makeup line and all that.
Like there's so many other things that you could do and still be completely good and chill where you're at.
That's why I credit Ozuna, to be honest. So I feel like the more I've gone like to like looking into him, because he was like my favorite when he was on top. Like I feel like his stardom has been, like at that point in time, I was like, bro, he's the best ever. Like I don't see, because he could do both rap and the like sing. He's like another Anuel basically, but he had a whole family and then he stopped, and then now he's coming back a little bit. Even though I'm like chill, like, you know what I mean? Like honestly, because his last couple songs haven't been that great in my opinion.
The one he did on Tiny's thing I thought that was pretty good. I like that. I also just love Tiny. Like
I was like
all his projects.
I feel like that song was good because of Tiny.
He's one of my favorite creatives like ever.
That album was amazing. Insane.
Yeah, we talk about it. We're like, yo, we're Tiny supporters until we die.
Like, you know, I worked with him when I was signed to Rock Nation because he was signed to Rock Nation, and he was like one of the first producers I ever worked with before he was like.
That's crazy.
All right, so what was it like being in the studio with him?
Hold up, how was that?
I mean, he's insane. He's a genius. And he's also so humble.
Yeah, he seems like it, to be honest.
You would think that, like, when someone's like, whatever. But even today, when I, like, see him at events and stuff, like, I'm like, oh, he's probably not going to talk to me because, like, whatever. And he still comes up to me. He's like, how's everything? Like, we got to, like, get into it and all this stuff. And he's super, super humble.
If we're there next time, just like, yo, come next to us.
Yo, these guys are like...
No, but, like, he's like one of my favorite people in the genre in general. Because, like, especially with this last album, it really made me realize, I'm like, bro, this man. And then being at his audio-visual event, I was like, going back through all his throwbacks, I'm like, bro,
He's
He
been
created
doing this
this.
for so long,
bro. And like since he was like 13, and he was making music before that. But I'm like, he got big when he was 13. That's crazy.
He was going to high school in
a Benz.
In a Benz.
At 16
he was getting
years
picked
old.
up from Wisin and Yandel from high school. That was crazy. That's crazy.
That's the thing. That's what I was saying about connections. Like, the industry is so small, and you know, like all these people, but it's just like the right moment for you. Like,
blows you up.
It'll happen for you.
Yeah.
He got mentored by the other greats, Looney Tunes. You know what I mean? Like it's crazy. Like
he was Tiny Toons.
Yeah, basically.
That was him. Yeah.
That's crazy.
It is crazy. Like, and
wait, what are your top 3 from that album? I always ask everybody this that like love the album.
I like Once y Once.
The first one, that's good.
Pa Siempre.
Of course.
Y Me Jodí.
Oh, okay, that's not bad. One. I was like, yo, if she, well, my 3 were, if you say the J. Cole one, Fantasma, because when that one came out, I was like, bro, this might be song of the year, bro.
Just like
it's just from beginning to end, even the transitions of like one song to the other is just so well done.
I didn't even realize I was on a different song till like I went to go check. Yeah, I was like, bro, this song's been going on for like 10 minutes. Like, how long is it? And I realized I'm like halfway through the album. I'm like, oh.
The transitions. Yeah, that album was thought out very, very
he's been doing it for like 2 years now.
Yeah.
All right, wait, so that throws me into this other question. Like, who are your top people in the industry?
Like, they maybe
like, I guess top 3
or like
maybe.
Your favorite, like.
Yeah.
In general?
Yeah.
Yeah, in general.
It's just, I listen to so many, like I'm R&B and reggaeton all the way. And in reggaeton right now, obviously I'm like Fade. I'm like super into Fade's fire, Rao. Always vibe to his shit. Justin Bieber's my number 1. I'm the biggest Justin Bieber fan ever.
Really?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
He's not either one of those genres. He's like mainly pop.
He transcends.
I mean, he's on his R&B shit is.
He has R&B's though?
Fire.
Yeah.
I've never listened to any of only the main ones because they come on the radio.
He's like my first.
Like over anybody.
Over anybody.
Really?
Yeah. I
Damn,
feel like
brother. What is it about this guy?
When you were coming up, was his his peak?
Yeah.
Like, how old are you? He's 22.
22.
Yeah, so like around that time was his like peak when she was also growing up.
When he was like what, 13?
No, when he was like 18, Mahomeno, like was like his peak.
But when did he get like when did he get discovered? Like what was it? Wasn't he like the first
discovered
YouTube?
him like really early.
On YouTube, right?
Oh. Yeah. But
damn.
I don't know, man. His music, I think out of everything, like it's just different. Like
it strikes like a vein of like, I don't know.
Like that's the playlist I'm gonna put if I'm like if I wanna feel something. If I just wanna dance, reggaeton.
Yeah, of course.
All the way.
Oh, but if you wanna like get in your feelings and stuff, like you go to him.
Feel whatever. Feel happy, feel sad. It's like it's him. But R&B in general, like I love Giveon.
Love Giveon.
Yeah, Her, LMA, Kalani. I'm like very into that as well. And yeah.
That's dope. Damn, you threw me off with that, to be honest. I thought you'd be all Spanish.
No, I'm like, I feel like if I was a solo, like if I were to be a solo artist, I feel like that's what I would sing.
That would be like your inspiration?
I think so.
Yeah.
That's dope. Yeah. Bro, before we get out of here, because I know we're pushing time, but
I mean,
why not? I know.
It's up to you, Lee.
I don't.
Well, him actually. I mean, he's the one that's edited this.
He's the one that's the savior.
Literally.
But what do you got coming up?
So
I know Anillo came out. I was listening to it in the car right here. It's pretty fire. But like, what you got? What does Angel22 have?
A completely different direction.
Oh, really?
Everything you've ever heard before, it's not the same at all. It's like a completely new direction. We're doing a full-on like rebrand, and it's exciting. I'm super excited. Awesome. I feel like what we're doing now, I feel like I connect with more, and I feel like it's gonna take everything to like another level. We're gonna release this next song, I think next month, and we're just gonna see how it goes. Like, see if the fans like it. It's more, I guess you could say, rap.
Ooh.
Damn,
more
like,
rap.
I'm intrigued.
Like Nicki Minaj rap or like
no, like
he said Nicki Minaj rap.
or like,
don't.
It's like
that'd be
chill.
hard.
Like we're just talking.
All right, bet.
Yeah.
Like that type.
It's like vibes.
Yeah.
All right.
It's
like
it's
that.
cool. I'm really excited. I feel like this is like we have like a new marketing team and all that stuff, and I feel like now everything's like starting to take
To
off
click.
together.
Yeah.
the way it's supposed to, and obviously hopefully perform more. I feel like that is such a strong thing for
Test.
us to perform. So hopefully perform a lot more and do more stuff.
Getting comfortable on stage.
Yeah,
Like, do you get really nervous or?
I do. Right before I need to use the bathroom like 20 times. But yeah,
But in that moment, it just
it's
goes
like
off.
it goes
and-
away.
yeah.
Once I like see everyone and I'm up there and I'm performing, I'm like, I'm good. This is
Yeah, 'cause at that point you gotta
this
do
is
it.
fun.
Yeah.
This is fun. Spain
Yeah.
Spain was amazing. I forgot to talk to you about Spain. It was incredible, but also technical issues were through the roof.
Bro.
That's never happened to us. And what happened was that the sound was como que rebotando
Oh,
of the speaker,
right.
and we could hear it even with the in-ears on. So we were hearing double.
Mm-hmm.
Like we were hearing what's in on the inside and on the outside.
Damn. So,
So
it's, like,
everything
throwing
would
you
be
guys
like we didn't know which one was at the right time.
Yeah.
Damn.
And even
That was the issue that when we were doing the live show, I was like, I don't want to like put this out, like have something recording because it's gonna do that.
It's gonna like bounce off.
It's gonna bounce off and you're not gonna know
Oh.
like it's gonna speech jam you.
Oh, okay.
and so even when I would sing, like 2 seconds later, I would hear it in here
Oh, I get
too.
the issue now. Yeah.
Like it was just so much going on, and it was very stressful, but it was beautiful. It was a beautiful experience, but like it's tough when you're like having that in your ear, and it was so loud too. I'm like, I don't even know what's como que.
The party would be like, you know what, like
the production team really heard it after, or like
The thing, we had a sound check, but they said that they were like, oh, in festivals, it's usually like this. Like, this is going to happen. I'm like, there's no...
they
Is
just try to
there-
get out of it.
Exactly.
That's what I excuse.
That's another thing. We didn't have, like, our own...
like team for that.
manager or
Team.
whatever, like really getting after it.
So I was like, let's just do whatever we have
Yeah.
to do. And it's hard, though, because in the moment that there's so much going on, it's hard for you to, like, be in the moment and feel connected and stuff, it being so crazy. But it was insane. I was super, like, in my head throughout the performance, but after when I saw the videos, I was like...
Oh, come on, good.
Bro, there was... How many people were there? Because I don't remember...
This many people were in
This
there.
many
Yeah.
people.
Did you look at yourself? Like, did you notice like you be like, damn, what's going on right now? Or did you look normal, like if nothing was happening?
I saw it as, like, if I was someone else, and I'm like, it didn't look
Like you were offbeat or
like I was, like, super off, but myself, I
Like, you
knew,
knew, yeah.
I could have been more in the moment.
But
if
you know,
I
so like the
wasn't.
regular fans out there, like they're not.
Yeah, you
I
couldn't
feel like they
tell.
don't even care, bro. Unless you do like what Mora does, where he's just like he makes it. I think he does it on purpose because it happens to him so much that he's like he wants to make them feel awkward for like messing up his sound.
We've
So
seen
he's
him,
just like
we've seen him live
bro.
a couple of times and it's always happened to him.
Literally, yeah. Like I think we've seen him like 3 or 4 times.
Yeah, and it's always like a sound issue. But
Every
also his
time.
music, like his music kind of does
Creates
it.
that,
Yeah,
yeah.
because like it's very like heavy, like techno bass, like
Right.
so it's like I feel like it just blows up your speakers. It's
Yeah.
like
It's like it's bound to happen.
Damn.
But like he does this thing where he just like, bro, you're gonna fix it today, like that. And
Yeah,
you see
like-
the guy in the back, like bro, trying to like sweating,
Like-
bullets, like trying to fix it.
he does like a
Ozuna-
little stand-up comedy. Like,
I don't even think Ozuna goes to his sound check. Maybe
yeah,
I think
somebody else do it. Or something?
maybe depending on the show or whatever, but I think someone probably knows like his
How he wants
everything, and
Yeah.
they just do it for him.
Honestly, I don't think like, I think if I was an artist, I would want to go, like no matter how like big or small the place was, because I'm
Yeah.
like I don't want to look dumb, like whether it's my fault or not.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I just don't want to.
Also, when you're so big and probably the time you have to do sound check, you have to be doing an
Some-
interview
I
or
forget
something.
about that. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's true.
You probably can't even make it, and like
Yeah.
it's good to have someone that already knows
What you want, yeah.
so you don't have to like give up something else to be there.
Yeah.
So I get it.
I forget how hectic it is for like when you're like big time, where you have
Yeah.
to do so many different things.
Yeah,
At the
your
same
schedule
time.
is like planned out like by the
Jam-packed,
like
yeah.
minute.
Packed.
Like
Also in Spain, we performed at the same stage as Ozuna.
Damn,
that's great. Yo,
That's-
y'all killing
that's
it.
fire.
What?
Like,
That's fire.
think about that though. Like he performed after you guys.
He performed at nighttime the day after. It was 2 days.
That's dope. Like you shared the same stage as like one of the biggest. He sang at the World Cup,
Yeah.
so you basically sang
At the World Cup.
Yeah, at the World Cup.
I basically
Congratulations.
sang with Ozuna.
Yeah,
Yeah,
literally.
yeah. You have a song with him.
Yeah,
Damn.
that's fire.
Yeah, that's a huge thing. I completely forgot to say.
That's dope.
It's fire though.
bro. That's insane. Like, I'm still kind of putting myself into like, yo, like to get in front of that many people is like crazy.
Yeah.
You know, let me ask you a question that we usually ask like artists that are like solo, but I want to see if like your answer is different for this. So we usually ask like artists like, oh, like who's your dream collab? But since you guys are a group, who do you think would like
Young Miko?
Oh, and that's such a perfect fit too.
I didn't have to let you finish.
Bro, that was because I feel like she flows on any beat, like on any
I feel
song.
like it makes sense. Like she's young, she's fresh. We're also going into like a new direction that I feel like she would fit so well. We met her.
Oh, really?
She's also very freaking humble. Yeah. She's great, and I feel like it would be fire. We've also worked with Caleb Galloway, fire as well.
Yeah, we see him,
and I feel like it's right there.
Yeah, like it's meant to be. Like if I see you guys in a video and I'm like, bro, I wouldn't even be surprised, to be honest.
Like, I feel like it makes sense. That's like our first. Like she's the first there.
Bro, so. we love Young Miko. Like, bro, we're still waiting on that song that's unreleased from the Tiny.
Yeah.
I'll show it to you after if like
I'll show you guys a new song too.
Exclusive.
Let's go.
But yo, it's been a pleasure having you here. Like, honestly,
thank you guys.
We're thankful for you coming on and like kind of sharing your story and sharing what's next for Wendii and Angel22.
Hey.
And we usually have like closing thoughts or like closing moments where we like just talk to the audience or like leave them with something. Mm-hmm. Is there anything you want to leave anybody with, like any message or like?
Bueno, mi gente. Se viene fuego, de verdad que para Angel22. Mucha música, muchos performances, así que prepárense que la nueva dirección está on fire. Los queremos mucho y gracias por todo el apoyo. And that was what I forget. I forgot honestly, to speak Spanish the whole time.
Yeah, no, I was just about to say, I was like, bro, I forget we're Spanish based.
Spanglish.
And we didn't speak one lick of Spanish the entire time.
No, we're Spanish.
Estamos comiendo mierda.
Literally. But you saved us. So.
Ya con esa.
Yeah, we're like, oh, we hit the quota.
Yeah.
No, literally. But como siempre, man, we love you guys. We appreciate you guys. Thank you guys for watching. If you're new here, you know, we do these interviews with Latino creatives, artists, designers, we're just trying to shed like a light on like the creative community in Miami and just like the Latinos doing dope shit.
Literally.
So yeah, that's pretty much it for me at least. I don't know if you have anything, Brandon, but
closing thoughts. No, I'm just always appreciative.
Yeah.
That people like her are just people from the industry that just
come on and
love to come on and share their story because they don't have to. So I really do appreciate you being here.
No, thank you guys. Yeah. You guys are fire. It's gonna be.
I appreciate that. You know?
Ego boost.
Yeah.
Confirmed.
Bro, for sure.
The only way to end this is with the dance.
Oh shit. Brandon, go ahead, my boy.
I'm good, bro. That's all you.
Go ahead, my boy. Hey, we're gonna save it for the next time we do an episode.
If you want to see it, go follow the account.
Follow yeah. Clickbait.
But we love you guys. Remember to subscribe, like, follow on TikTok, YouTube, all that. And we'll see you guys next time. Peace.